What's up, everybody? This is Nick.
And this is Eric.
And Eric, once again, we are here with a Pull Up a Chair podcast. We want to welcome everybody that's listening. Thank you for listening, and if you enjoy us, please like and subscribe. But more on that later. Right now, buddy, that's how what we were talking about, how commercials would sometimes go. They would say, what they were hawking, and then they would go, more on that later.
Yeah, later.
Teasing something, making you want to watch all the way to the end, because we didn't have time for those commercials. But today we're taking a big bite out of a big topic. And let me begin by saying, as always, I am Nick, and I am joined by my good friend and podcasting king.
Oh, you want me to say my name? Eric.
We are here, and today we are talking about the 1980s. As we always do, we like to do a little nostalgia here and there.
We love the 80s, the 90s. Hey, we even go back to the 70s, and we weren't around in the 60s, but we would go back that far.
I wasn't around in the 70s.
I was barely around in the 60s.
But we will talk about some other stuff later on. But today, my friend, we are taking a huge bite, a delicious, yummy bite out of 1980s cereals.
Well, let's be honest. Not all the 80s cereals tasted that great.
They did not. But here's the thing. There were a ton of them. It was the Wild West of cereals back then.
I like that, the Wild West of... I mean, we want to go down the Wild West of cereals. We can talk about the OJs.
Well, yeah, that is one that was out there. It was... If you remember this cereal... Here's the thing. I remember this cereal from the commercials. I never had the OJs.
Who would want... OJ's referencing it tastes like orange juice.
Right.
Orange juice flavored cereal.
Right. It was not... It had nothing to do with O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Recently released O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, got released. He did not have any part of it, which is surprising because in the 80s, O.J. Simpson was pretty popular.
But the OJ actually referred to orange juice.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Oh, I don't want you to be confused.
Oh, by another OJ?
This was an OJ. This was an orange flavored cereal.
I think akin to what we nowadays, like chocolate cereals flavor the milk as chocolate. Probably it flavors the milk eventually as to orange. Which sounds awful. When you were going to school and the kid got sick in class and, had a little projectile vomiting going on in class or somewhere around school, and the janitor came by and they put powder on it.
Right.
Do you remember that powder?
I do.
Do you remember what that powder was scented to be?
It was scented to be OJ cereal flavored.
OJ cereal flavored from Kellogg's. Yeah, that's right.
Now I want to point out something. We're looking at this off of the MeTV site, and we'll link to that.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
One thing that I enjoy on this is that I'm seeing here that one bowl of this cereal,
tell me,
had all the vitamin C of a 4-ounce glass of orange juice.
Amazing. How did they cram it in there?
Buddy, it's a little process I like to call shrinktification.
Hey, we're not Dunkin' Donuts cereal yet.
Well, buddy, this was used on a lot of these cereals back there. Shrinktification was a 1980s technology that they came up with. A little movie, kind of a documentary. That was made about shrinktification was called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I was looking for
Came on later.
I was looking for that. It's a 90s movie. We can talk about that.
Well,
I was looking for that movie this past week. I was going to show my kids that movie. I was like, it's movie night. I was like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I want to watch that movie. I found Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. The Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. But I couldn't find Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on streaming at the time. I don't know
Honey,
why.
We Blew Up the Kids. Completely different movie.
Yes.
That's the one where they get a hold of the hand grenade?
Oh, no. That's the one where they make the little kid giant.
Oh, make him giant. Okay,
Yeah.
See, I completely misread.
Now you're thinking of another movie. It was probably from
No, you know
North
what?
Korea.
I'm sorry. That was Commando.
Commando.
I completely forgot. Arnold Schwarzenegger. He looks like a blown up kid.
A blown up kid.
So
All right, let's get back on the cereal topic. We talked about OJs.
We did talk about OJs. I do remember this cereal. There was a cowboy that would ride these.
The oranges would come out in a stampede.
They would.
That's what it was.
But he would brand them with an OJ symbol.
Okay.
You remember? I don't know why. He branded these things with, I guess that was his brand. And if anybody stole his OJ oranges, they'd get hung. Because that's law back in the Old West.
Yeah.
The Old West of cereal. Which,
let's be honest. Orange flavored cereal was kind of one of the common flavors. It was like a new flavor. You know, every kind of decade has a flavor that comes out. And this was the 80s flavor that I hated. What's another cereal that had orange in it? Do you remember?
I don't.
We talked about it just momentarily. Nerd cereal. I think one of the flavors in Nerd cereal was orange.
Nerd cereal was orange. That's true. They had the
berry version. They had the grape strawberry version, but they had an orange.
And I want to say it was like strawberry or something.
Yeah, orange and like a pink color.
Yeah,
might be an orange and strawberry.
Or raspberry. I don't know.
Oh, cherry, orange and cherry. That's what it was.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, orange and cherry. I love Nerds. One of my favorite candies.
Still to this day?
To this day, I still eat Nerds.
Okay.
I got a story about, speaking of orange and candy. I'll get to it here in a second. I couldn't stand the Nerd cereal. I do not like flavored orange. I think it goes back to the stuff they put on throw up at school to cover up the stench. It was orange scented.
Well, you know what I didn't like? So that stuff I didn't really bother with, but normally when I tasted orange flavored stuff, I had a bunch of Tang when I was a kid.
Oh, wow. We grew up on Tang.
Mom would buy Tang, and I hated Tang.
I like Tang. It's cheap. It's good. But they really pushed you the whole like astronaut drink, which I don't think it really was.
Well, I don't know. See, when I was growing up, Mom didn't buy the name brand cereal. So we had like the bag cereals.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know the cereals that are on the bottom shelf?
Well, now it's most of the cereal are like half the thing is bag cereal nowadays.
I would always point to Mom and tell her, I think we didn't get Nerds, we got like Dorks or something.
Back to my
or Noids.
I had an incident this week. This is off topic completely. I was eating because I'm a man child. Sometimes I was eating a Starburst. An orange Starburst is I was in my office, which I office with another person, and they have candy on their desk, which I rarely eat. They were out of the office. I was kind of just burning time talking to you.
Okay.
And I told you I had to get off the phone.
Yes.
Remember that? I was like, I gotta get off the phone. I had a orange Starburst in my mouth. I was chewing it, and I have one crown, and it pulled my crown off.
So did you have to go to the dentist?
Yeah, I went to the dentist the next morning. To the dentist the next morning. They put it back on. Crazy
story about that phone call. As soon as I got off the phone with you, my tooth just fell out.
Your teeth started falling out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I have
I
bad
work
teeth.
in an area that's very radiated.
Like I am sterile.
You know what I did? I just pushed them right back in.
That reminds me of a scene from the Drew Carey Show. Back in the day, one of the guys worked at a nuclear plant.
Wait, so that's 2000s. We are not to that area.
That's true. That's true. I'll digress. So yeah, I had to get my tooth put back in.
Your crown put back in.
Your
tooth didn't fall out.
It's most of my tooth.
Let's not get too dramatic here.
I have bad teeth. I think it's from all this. My family, we grew up. Breakfast was cereal, so I ate a lot of these cereals. I'm pretty sure I had Nerds at some point. As we rolled through these cereals, there's few I didn't eat. One I didn't eat was the Nintendo cereal, and the reason I didn't eat it, couldn't find it.
I didn't know anything. I remember this Nintendo cereal. I never had it.
I can't remember the commercials, but I never saw it.
I remember seeing the boxes.
Because I played Zelda like mad. That's one of the few games my dad played a ton, and we played a lot of Zelda. And Super Mario Brothers, of course, staple in the Nintendo system, as is Zelda and the Link.
I'm trying to remember what exactly. So I remember Zelda had like a key. It had Link, but it had like a key, and I think the Goblin.
Oh, the goblin, yeah. Oh,
and the shield and the.
there we go.
So okay, so we just you just went right to that. That was impressive.
I know. It's like I've watched it over and over and over.
But okay, so they had Link, they had a heart, a key, a shield, and
a boomerang, which looks like a banana.
It does look like a banana.
I bet it's banana flavored too.
I wouldn't know, but that is. Then Mario, I want to. Man, if Mario had shrooms in it, that would be the greatest cereal ever.
We were talking about stereotypes and whatnot. See if I can find. Oh, it had.
There it is.
It did have mushrooms in it.
It had the mushroom. It had Bowser. It had the Goomba and the turtle.
The Koopa. And probably Mario.
And Mario was there. But here's a question: Why did they choose like a Goomba or the Koopa? Why didn't they choose like the flower?
I don't know. Well, I was thinking
because I would have eaten the flower and the flower only just to spit fire.
I was thinking on the Zelda. Why not that piece of meat you feed the goblin to get through the section? That's this weird mechanic. You gotta buy the piece of meat or get it somehow to feed the goblin, or whatever that is. I can't remember.
Do you remember though? You could you
could stop and select and get out and keep it.
Yes.
Yes, my dad taught me that.
But you could also select it and sit there and just repeatedly like you would your sword. Just sit there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I never did that.
I think I may have broken the game.
Did you really
to do that? I don't know.
You want to go with another game cereal?
Well, we do have another game cereal. We actually have a couple game cereals that we
can
talk about.
Let's do those.
We have Pac-Man. There was a Pac-Man cereal.
Pac-Man, yeah.
There was a Donkey Kong cereal.
Yeah, Donkey Kong,
and then
definitely.
There was a Donkey Kong Jr. cereal.
Which
I want to say there was a Miss Pac-Man too.
A Miss Pac-Man cereal? Are you serious?
I think so.
Well, that you keep talking. I'll look that up.
I remember that there was a lot of these different style or these video game style cereals that came out. There was a Miss Pac-Man cereal. See, I was right.
This is normal Pac-Man.
I apologize. It was Pac-Man had Miss Pac-Man marshmallows. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
I thought the Miss Pac-Man was a completely different cereal with marshmallows.
He's eating Miss Pac-Man. He's eating.
That has a lot of connotations, sir.
Oh look. So here's a picture of I might say this, of one of my favorite TV personalities from my childhood.
Don Knotts.
Mr. Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
I'm
Fantastic guy. If you ever get to hear him,
they look a lot alike.
He spoke to Congress. He single-handedly saved public television with his show and
Don Knotts did?
I'm done with you.
Okay.
But here's a picture. Here's the Donkey Kong cereal in this picture. There's Pac-Man. I was looking in the background. We didn't even talk about honeycomb cereal yet. That's a horrible cereal. I hate that stuff. I don't know when that one came out.
That's why we're avoiding it.
Yeah. Okay, we can continue on. Sorry, I digressed into.
But yeah, did you have any of these cereals? Did you have any of the video game cereals? Did you have the Pac-Man cereal?
I don't think I had Pac-Man cereal. I do think I had not Pac-Man. What was the other one you said? Donkey Kong Jr. I do think I had that one. I remember the bananas and berries.
Okay, so I think I had the bananas and berries one.
Uh-huh.
Either that or I had a similar cereal. It may have been some kind of just donkey cereal that was
just not Donkey Kong, not a monkey, but like a cereal about a donkey.
Yeah, it was just donkey cereal. I'm telling you, we got the big bag stuff that was.
It's like super generic.
It is
Donkey Kong. We're just gonna do donkey.
Yeah,
just donkey. What's his name? Donkey Frong.
Yeah, like he just donk.
He's French.
It was Conky Dong.
Conky, that sounds...
Wait, never mind. We probably ought to not promote that cereal. That was a completely different cereal.
I think you can leave that one off the shelves.
It did not have your daily vitamins.
Not any you want.
Not any you want.
Yeah, but I just think that Donkey Kong Jr. not my favorite cereal.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a bad one. Once again, they had the banana flavor.
Okay.
So, that was in the Donkey Kong Jr. cereal.
Like banana. Don't like banana.
Well, it's a very weird... that was always been something that's weird to me, is they take these little puffs these puffs that they make cereal out of, and they add like weird colors and flavors to it.
Yeah.
That it
Captain Crunch.
Well, it technically never. At least Captain Crunch was like, these are called Crunch Berries.
Yeah, so
That
it
way
tastes like it.
Yeah.
Oh, you
it
talking about
never-
the flavor of banana?
Yes.
The flavor of banana is based on the banana from the 60s that got eradicated by a disease, not the Cavendish banana which we have nowadays.
I feel like you're making this up.
No, the Cavendish banana. Is that the new one or is that the old one, the Cavendish banana?
I don't know which banana is which. So you're saying there's a new strain? We have a stronger strain of banana?
No, the old banana people talk about Cavendish banana. What was the name of the banana before the Cavendish that got wiped out?
I don't know.
Cavendish extinction. That's
Well,
is
this
the
is
Cavendish
this,
the old one?
The extinction of the Cavendish one is they're saying that it's going to die out fairly soon.
Yeah, that they're having a problem with it right now.
Right.
So they'll just breed a breed. So
we'll,
Cavendish took over.
We'll have a stronger banana.
I don't know.
Will it give me superpowers?
So it tastes.
If I got bitten by this banana, would it give me superpowers?
You make me sad.
I want banana powers. I don't even know what that would mean.
Banana powers?
I could like peel my skin off.
Wow, that's pretty graphic.
It's just me as people are robbing a bank. I show up and peel my skin off and freak them out. Just me yelling constantly.
Let's see here.
So it's based off. You say it's based off the flavor
Big
of
Mac,
the
the Big Mike bananas.
The Big Mike bananas. Okay.
Until the late 1800s. Okay, hold on. Is that them? Yeah, the bananas. Since there's no seeds in bananas, they're all grafted.
Right.
So if a disease affects one, it affects all of them, and it destroys them. I'm trying to find.
There was the Chiquita.
That's a company.
Okay.
UFC was a company before Chiquita. Banana loaders.
UFC was Ultimate Fighting.
Oh yeah, Ultimate Fighting Banana Company.
Wow.
They kept the B out of there though.
Well, yeah. The banana fights were very brutal. So we had this thing going on in the 80s. I mean, they mentioned it a little bit on this website. They mentioned that the kind of in the 70s, banana flavored was what cereals went to. And then 80s, we kind of had the rise of the orange.
Yes.
With, OJ. Thank you, OJ cereal, for bringing us
orange
4 ounces of
milk.
I
want to say this. There was a cereal. I haven't got to my worst cereal of the 80s yet. It's coming up though. When we go to cereals based on movies, it's in there.
Okay.
What was I talking about?
Captain Crunch.
No. There's a Captain Crunch movie?
There is. If there's not, there should be.
There should be.
Wasn't there a Garbage Pail Kid movie? Or, I mean, not. I know
There's
there
a
was
cartoon.
a movie, but wasn't there a Garbage Pail Kid cereal?
Yes. It looked like Cabbage Patch Kid cereal.
It was a Cabbage Patch Kids.
They look like I can see why you'd make that mistake because the cereal itself looked like Garbage Pail Kids.
Did it?
It was only like one symbol of like a generic doll. It looked really weird. So the OJ cereal, I do believe I had that cereal as a kid. There was a cereal I remember my mother made me eat it. I remember begging for it, and I think it was this OJ cereal, and I got it, and I hated it because I didn't realize it was orange, and she would make me eat it every day until it was gone. And it's like, that's the time that you eat one bowl, but normally you'd eat 2 to 3 bowls of cereal. That's when I eat one bowl of cereal. It saved mom money. I know that. All right, let's move on away from OJ. We talked a lot about OJ cereal, and we talked about video game cereal. Let's talk a little bit about cereal based on media. So movies and TV. So let's bring cartoons and movies. We have the ET cereal, which I never had, but it is chocked full of E's and T's. You always need to get your daily allotment of E's and T's in your diet.
Well, here's what I love, because we watched this commercial.
We did watch this commercial.
Here's what I love, and I'm sorry, I was looking up because I'm trying to remember if there was a Garbage Pail Kids cereal.
He doesn't care about you as much as I do.
I want to know if there's a Garbage Pail Kids cereal, but we'll come back to that. Apparently there was a
Garbage Pail.
No, see, that's Cabbage Patch Kids. Somebody said there was.
Somebody.
I
Internet's
apologize.
always right.
I apologize, people.
Let's get to the ET cereal.
The ET cereal. But no, here's what I love about this commercial. I like the idea that after he left, he went home in the movie.
He made it home.
He gets home. He finds the cereal.
He's like, I need to get this back.
I got to get this back to the 80s kids and give this to them.
Yes.
And so he shows up, and all these kids are waiting for him, and he gives them
You're like,
cereals with E's and T's.
You're back. I've missed you. Thanks for the cereal. Thank you.
You know what this is?
He leaves again.
This is remedial alphabet cereal, is what this is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They have
for the kids that just can't get all the alphabet.
Right. Like, you want to be able to spell one word? It's T.
No.
T-E-E.
Yeah, if you're thirsty, you can write the word T out. It's not spelled the same either.
No, T-E-A.
T-E-A.
T-E-E, however,
It's
is
a letter
when you go
Oh,
golf.
golfing. That's right. Well, hold on. Speaking of kids who can't even do T and E,
Or
like
teat. You could do
teat,
teat.
like me who can't spell good, the Mr. T cereal was just full of T's. Just
Yeah.
T's, nothing else. Just
No,
a cereal full of the letter T. Of course,
Well, let's be honest though. It's based off a show, the Mr. T cartoon show, which
Yeah.
I loved, and I just want to say that Mr. T, if you're listening, my good friend Mr. T, I pity the food that doesn't eat my cereal. I ate a lot of that cereal because I wanted the stickers that came with it.
then you're not pitied, my friend. You are not pitied.
I ate this cereal.
Oh yeah, you talked about this. What kind of stickers did they have?
They had stickers of Mr. T. Much like the show, this cereal was chock full of tea.
Of T, huh? Like
That's all you needed was tea.
you just needed T.
You
huh?
needed to remember one thing, and that was that you were eating
T.
I
I'm uncomfortable with
I
that
kind of
phrasing.
lost it there at the end, but you get my point. You're eating just something that Mr. T himself was behind.
All right, moving on.
I
past Mr.
guarantee
T.
you.
Moving on.
I guarantee you. If they
Guarantee?
they should
Guarantee?
They should have put a mohawk on top of the T. That would have made it better.
Okay.
Mr. T had a mohawk
It
in the
look-
80s.
Well, I know, but it would look more like a
A lowercase T.
something.
Yeah.
All right, we also
Moving
have
on. We got
the
other
Smurf
things.
cereal. We got the Smurf cereal.
We do have the Smurf
I remember
cereal.
getting it. It was a pretty bland, common cereal. Now to talk about my most hated cereal to this day, the cereal that was gross, but from a movie I adore, which got remade recently in a more feminine style.
You're talking about Secret of Nim.
Secret of
Secret of
cereal.
Nim cereal was gross.
No, I'm talking about the Ghostbusters cereal.
Oh.
I love
I was completely
Ghostbusters
wrong.
was my jam. I love Ghostbusters. My dad and I, my brother, Ghostbusters was on probably every other weekend in my house. Star Wars was every
Part
weekend.
1 or 2? Which one was it?
We watched a lot of more Part 1 than 2. Like 2, Part 1's a better movie.
Which one was it that had was that the one that had the glowing ghost marshmallows?
Yes, and they made the milk. They didn't glow. They were just really, really green. They turned the milk green. And I think that was one of their Slimer milk or whatever. It turned your milk kind of green.
Why
It
would that be a
tasted
selling
horrible.
point?
I don't know. It tasted
It'll turn your milk
horrible.
to slime.
It tasted so bad.
That's the big.
I don't remember. I haven't watched a commercial on that one. I think I might throw up if I do.
Well, I wouldn't blame you.
I wouldn't.
I
blame
do
me either.
I do remember we were looking at Smurfberry, and they do mention something in that description there. There was a strawberry shortcake cereal.
Yes, there was. Yeah, strawberry shortcake.
Which my sister
Was
loved strawberry shortcake. She loved the character, not the. Well, I mean, I'm sure she liked the cake too. But anyway, so I digress. But it wasn't a great cereal.
Yeah.
It was not a great cereal. I did not enjoy this cereal. I absolutely hated it, and I think they actually came up with a. I want to say it was Smurfberry Crunch to kind of. I think it was the same company, and they tried to give it a little bit of a different
Smurf Berry
flavor?
Crunch. Yeah. They try to girlarize it,
Yes.
which is fine because there was also a Rainbow Bright cereal, which I never got.
Oh my goodness, I forgot all about.
But
You know what? Here's a question.
hold on.
Why did we not get a My Buddy cereal?
My Buddy.
My Buddy and Kid
My
Sister
Buddy.
defined commercial songs in the 80s.
They sure did.
And I want to know why exactly I did not get this thing that, you know.
Hold on. See this cup this kid's holding right here? See that cup?
Yes.
Wait just one moment. I don't have that exact cup because that's a Rainbow Bright cup, but I got a cup.
You're seriously leaving in the middle of a
Yeah,
podcast?
I'm getting me my cup.
Everybody, Eric's leaving in the middle of this podcast because apparently he has apparently something more interesting, like a cup is going on. He has a cup, apparently a Rainbow Bright cup.
No.
He has a Smurfs cup.
Yeah, if you're watching the video podcast, there's my Smurfs cup.
Did you get that out of a...
I don't remember where I got this one,
Okay.
but these cups were all over the 80s. These were like cups of the 80s.
Cups of the 80s.
Cups of the 80s. You look
Cups of the 80s.
a little bit of damage on it right there if you can focus it. Yeah, a little bit of damage.
We will one
that
day...
was my fault. I was washing it and I used a scrubber on it.
We will one day do Cups of the 80s.
When I was like 8.
Okay.
Cups of the 80s. I don't know. You know what? I'm tempted just to go to eBay or something and try to buy more of those cups. I hope people can hear me.
So we have Rainbow Bright. We didn't even talk about Waffalo's.
We don't need to talk about Waffalo's.
Waffalo's were actually not bad. They weren't great. Another big one that we could talk about is California Raisins cereal.
Well, there's another raisin cereal I want to talk about after this.
Okay. California Raisins, this was a huge thing. People collected these. You remember these little California raisins?
Yeah, it became
They were all over the place.
It was a big... I collected those. I don't have them anymore, but you could get those toys everywhere.
1988 was when this cereal came out. And it was, these things were everywhere. And
Yep.
You remember they would do I heard it through the grapevine. And it was a huge thing, and I never understood why. The cereal was not great. And you wanted to bring up another cereal that was not great, unless you want to mention something else about this.
I feel like we're kind of glossing over California Raisins. The impact, it was probably the first cereal I remember that became super mainstream. They had their songs were on the Billboard. They were charted on the Billboard charts.
Yeah.
You heard it everywhere. They bombarded you with commercials too.
Well, and they had their own show. I remember
That's right. They did have a show.
They had their own show. They had this kind of stop animation style show that was...
Let's see if we can find it.
Wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either.
Well...
But, it's seriously... This was a huge cultural phenomenon. This was the Beanie Babies of kind of the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, those toys were everywhere. Like kids would take them to school.
Well, it wasn't just kids though. I knew adults that collected these things. That's why I'm likening them to the Beanie Babies, is because they would collect those little figurines.
Oh yeah,
and stash them away.
Oh, my aunt had a bunch of those. That's where I got them. She gave me all her duplicates.
Oh,
that's what it was.
That was nice of her.
Well, it was
I know, I'm just
free
kidding.
gift. Okay, the raisin cereal I wanted to talk about, which I never saw until we talked about it today, in the list. What marketing genius came up with this cereal? It's hard to say. Raisin Squares. That just sounds bad. It is a wheat.
It was
It's hard to describe.
mini wheats shoved. Forcibly shoved, and I'm going to do this to...
Whoa, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I'm showing...
That's bad. That's a bad sign.
Okay, I'm not doing the 80s. No, this is different. This is like a steam shovel shoving it into the mini wheat.
Yeah, it's basically a raisin stuffed inside a mini wheats.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is this raisin right in the middle, and it was not a good cereal.
Well, this little like blurb about it says it was quite tasty. I do like raisin cereals, and I do like wheat. I might have liked it. I don't know.
I did not enjoy this cereal.
I'm sure your mom bought it because it was on sale.
Well, maybe. More than likely.
It's a,
We...
it's such an ugly. It looks like a butthole.
I'm fairly...
It's like a cereal with a butthole.
I'm fairly certain that we actually got...
The generic version?
prune rectangles.
prune rhombus.
I never had any poop problems because thanks to prune rectangles.
Yeah. That's great. Well, we're talking about mini wheats. I want to talk about a cereal that I loved growing up. And it is the large shredded wheat, just shredded wheat, which I didn't know they still made until just...
You're basically talking just of a cocoon of wheat.
Yeah.
That you would break open.
No, so I would put it in the bowl and pour milk on it and wait just a minute or two for that milk, but the milk would kind of seep into it. And then I'd take my spoon and just crunch a square off and eat it. And I loved it. Now, later on, they came out with mini wheats, frosted shredded wheat. Sorry, not mini wheats. Sure. And so it was a big square with a slab of frosting on top of it.
Uh-huh.
And you could pick that frosting off in a big chunk if you knew how to do it.
Oh.
And you just pop it off. And I'd pop that off, eat it, and then pour the milk on and eat the cereal.
This sounds like the Oreo challenge. You could get get it off perfectly like that. So
I might buy some of
this cereal. Look, I was not a huge fan of these wheat cereals. Actually, I hated them. But, and nothing against you. I'm just saying.
That's okay. I don't care.
I know that your heart is invested in shredded wheat cereal. You have
I have stocks.
You have dumped all of your money.
All my money's in shredded wheat cereal.
Shredded wheat stocks and Blockbuster. Those are the two things you invested in.
That's what I invested. I'm broke.
How's that working out for you?
Well, shredded wheat's still doing well, but the Blockbuster went bust.
Oh, well, you know.
I thought it would never end.
But those are the glory days.
Living large on my Blockbuster money.
But this was, to me, it always looked like a big cocoon. Just like something was going to come out of it.
A cocoon of goodness.
A cocoon of wheat.
Of deliciously goodness
like
stuff.
Every morning I wake up and I go out to the tree and I grab myself off a cocoon of wheat out there.
You're griping about how bad it, but it's no raisin squares or prune rhombuses.
I never said that raisin squares were good, or I never said prune rectangles were any good either. It wasn't.
Well, you know what other cereal I didn't like that a lot of people like, and it's still out today.
So if you even say Cookie Crisp,
it is Cookie Crisp. I did not like it.
It is about to go down, and they're going to witness a murder on this.
I still don't like Cookie Crisp. It tastes bad. It does not taste like cookies.
It tasted like cookies.
It does not taste like
delicious.
Cookies. Like stale cookies from the ground, maybe.
Yes, stale cookies.
Stale ground cookies.
Not ground at all. There was no dirt in them. It was, they were dusty. That was a good question. Why did they always come out like super dusty?
Yeah, with like the last pour was like a couple Cookie Crisp and a bunch of dust.
Well, no, you would open up the inside package and it'd be like, it's like, it was like you had just, like an Indiana Jones movie, like he had just opened the sarcophagus and all the dust.
You unsealed them and...
Yeah, like it was like...
Well, it was probably sawdust. So the stale cookies wouldn't crumble as much.
Well, I'm just gonna say my lungs are probably covered in that stuff.
You got Cookie Crisp lung?
Yeah, I do.
Coal miner lung.
I will. By the way, Cookie Crisp lung, the most delicious type of lung you can have. You're every time you breathe, you just taste cookies.
So good, just yumming.
Yeah, as you cough, you're like, Cookie Crisp.
I love it. I know I didn't like Cookie Crisp. Now, Cookie Crisp came out a long time ago in the 70s. I think 77 is what
back in the before time.
Back in the long ago. Back in 77, I think it was introduced. Its original mascot was Jarvis the... I don't know what he
Jarvis the wizard.
Like a Merlin-like person.
Yeah.
But what I remember is the cop. The crook and the cop.
Yes.
And
then they added the dog later on where he'd go, Cookie Crisp.
Is that the wolf?
No, that was the dog.
The dog would do yeah. And now it's a wolf.
Yeah, then he Chip the dog. He somehow evolved into Chip the wolf.
You know,
I'm not sure how
evolution's real, guys.
I'm not sure how that evolution works.
He transformed. What's that? It was a Pokemon thing when they go up a level. They evolve. Yeah, I don't know what else.
Evolving.
His XD form.
Okay, XD.
I don't know.
Is this what is shown on Disney XD?
I don't have a clue what's on it. I don't have cable.
Well, buddy, how are you gonna watch your new DuckTales series?
I'm gonna have to borrow it online somewhere. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Borrow it online. I respect that. Off of Netflix, I hope.
If they put it on Netflix, I have Netflix. I'll watch it. If they put it out on Hulu, I have a friend who lets me borrow that sometimes.
Well,
and that's a good friend. And if it's on Amazon Prime, which I have, I'll watch it on there. I'll watch it wherever I can get it.
Well,
wherever I can get it, I'll get it.
Anywhere you can just
get my DuckTales on. Hey, speaking of DuckTales, side note, Darkwing Duck coming back on DuckTales, boy.
Darkwing Duck.
Whoop, whoop, yeah.
Which we need to bring this to a close.
Yes, we do.
We need to just address this issue very quickly. Darkwing Duck will be on DuckTales.
Yes.
They haven't announced in what form or fashion, but he is apparently going to be on there.
I'm excited. I am. I've talked to people about DuckTales coming back, and people don't like the art, and I love the new art style. So I don't know.
The art doesn't really bother me. It will depend on the nature of the show. Is it still nostalgic enough?
All I've seen all the clips I've seen, they're inside the mansion. Like, they're not going on adventures yet. I don't know.
Well,
but I've been actually kind of avoiding it because I really want to watch it without seeing too many of the sneak peeks.
I think this DuckTales, they're just going to stay in the mansion. DuckTales, the plot is that there's some treasure in the mansion that not even Scrooge McDuck knows about.
It sounds like a lie.
And they need to find it.
It's probably that they have the lucky penny. I think they're using. I know that's in there.
Lucky dime.
Is that lucky dime? That's what I thought. I almost said dime. I don't know. Let's get back to cereal. Let's wrap this up. We didn't talk about C-3PO cereal. Yes, there was a C-3PO Star Wars cereal, which had double the O's for double the crunch.
Well, yeah, it was just basically an 8. I mean, if we're gonna mention C-3POs, we also need to mention there was a Gremlins cereal.
Oh, really?
Do you remember Gremlins cereal?
Nope, not a bit.
I remember this cereal. The only thing I remember about this cereal is the commercial. And it was Gizmo eating the cereal.
I kind of remember that. I kind of have a picture of that in my head.
And you know what was bad? They were feeding it to him after midnight.
What? That sounds... Oh, man.
And then Stripe came. I don't know if that's how it ended. I just remember Gizmo eating cereal.
We have several donut cereals, which were a big thing.
Donut cereals were big.
The Dunkin' Donut cereals, the white powder donut cereals. I think what was that one?
There were
powdered donuts with a Z cereal. And there was another donut cereal, but I don't see it in this list.
Well, we also had a lot of waffle cereals. There were other
waffle cereals. That was a big deal.
There was also a PB&J cereal.
PB&J, but was that a peanut butter and jelly? Yes, it was a peanut butter and jelly cereal.
Yes, but the mascot was actually an explorer. I remember these commercials.
Oh yeah,
because it always seemed like Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Yes,
but it was an explorer named PB and his dog Jay, and they would always have these commercials where they were finding this cereal in different places.
Well, sounds like a treasure in my book. We have, of course, a S'mores Crunch cereal. I remember that was a big deal when I was a kid. And yes, I had that cereal many times, and it was very delicious.
Well, and I also think we need to mention the Batman cereal. There was a... that may have been 90s. I need to look that up, but there was a Batman cereal.
You got a bank. I think you got to save up the codes or save up a portion of the box, and you sent it in for
a Batman bank.
Yeah, a Batman bank.
Which, if you could fill up that bank, you could afford one more box Batman cereal.
It was probably pretty expensive. Okay, that kind of tops out. Of course, the marshmallow crisps.
This is one that we have to just briefly talk about. It was kind of a flash in the pan type of deal.
The marshmallow crisps?
Yes, the marshmallow crispies.
Crispies, yeah.
This was Rice Krispies, but they added marshmallows to it.
And Snap Crackle Pop wasn't their name until like the 90s, I don't think.
Was it not? I think they were.
I don't know when it got named.
But this commercial also very, very important because it features you got a joke book inside this
Oh yeah,
box,
you talking about
and it features a very young Fred Savage telling a joke, asking the audience, why does a cow use a bell? Do you know why, Eric?
why?
Because it can't use its arms.
You
Get it?
know what?
Because it can't anyway.
I'm going to use that joke at my next Toastmasters meeting. That's going to be used.
And you know what? They're probably going to be like, please leave
I might
and
get kicked
never come back.
I might get kicked out of the meeting. Well, I hope so. I lied to you. The Snap Crackle Pop. They've been Snap Crackle Pop been around a long time.
I thought they had, because I called them Snap Crackle Pop when I was.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they'd always be like Snap Crackle Pop Rice Krispies.
Yeah, I think it is because of the radio ads.
And then I think during the Marshmallow, I think the character was named like Dump. He was kind
Snap
of
Crackle Pop and Dump.
Yeah, that's what they. Because
Hey Dump, come here.
He's like Pigpen he was the Pigpen version.
But yeah, he's dusty and gross.
And he was actually Pop's cousin.
Pop.
And they'd always be like, hey, let's bring out your cousin. He's like, please don't. He's like, I'm Dump.
I'm Dump.
Like, Snap, Crackle, Pop, and Dump.
And Dump. All right, we did touch on the ice cream cone cereal, which was pretty good. I remember that one. I actually had that one quite a bit.
Well, hey, let's not go overboard with this. We could probably come back to this and talk about a few more, and we might do that in the future.
We didn't talk about like the different prizes you could get in cereal. We talked about
we can bring those up later, but
yeah.
But let's just call it there. We've talked about quite a few things. If you have a cereal that you remember fondly from the 80s, please put it down in the
definitely
comments below. Tell us what it was. Like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We have, like I said, we'd be hearing more about that later. Well,
we were only about halfway through the cereal conversation, guys.
Oh no, I mean, buddy, this is a whole rabbit hole.
A rabbit hole of 80s cereal.
I'm gonna ask you,
whatever that is.
I'm gonna ask you.
What's that?
You can take the red pill or the blue pill. Do you want to go down the rabbit hole for more cereals?
What year did that come out?
On the Pull Up a Chair podcast.
What year did Matrix come out?
I have no idea.
All right.
I'm not saying you're the one either, so don't get any ideas.
Not Neo. Thanks for listening, and like and subscribe. YouTube channel, Pull Up a Chair. The podcast is everywhere you are at Pull Up a Chair on iTunes, Google Play Store, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podbean.
Podbean's our home. We do have a website now. It is we have a website. We'll be doing some new things with that here fairly soon.
Need some more content on our website.
Yes.
But yeah, we got it coming on. We're going to be talking about.
I'm going to add some of those memes and
the maymays.
The maymays.
How did a lady call that at work? What are maymays?
So, like and subscribe. Go to our website. We have actually a Facebook page. If you want to, you can go and like that too. A Facebook page for Pull Up a Chair podcast. We'll be promoting that a bit more too.
I'll put a link to it in the description.
We are starting a Patreon. We're trying to get official with this here, people. We have looked stuff up, and they say if you want to be somebody, you get a Patreon.
I guess. I don't know about that.
Basically what I'm going to be doing is putting up some 8x10s of myself in different poses and different sets of clothes.
Oh, you're putting clothes on
My
this
bikini
time.
set will be coming out soon.
I'm just glad you have clothes this time.
It's a thong.
The last set was disturbing.
String bikini. It's really just a string.
Just a string.
There's no
just
bikini
got some
to it.
twine out.
Yeah, it really hurt, but nonetheless, please, support us in some way. Like and subscribe. That really helps us.
Leave a comment. That's always helpful.
That always helps. It lets us know that somebody at least is out there and listening, and it just makes us feel good knowing that people are out there. So we hope you've enjoyed it. We enjoy it. And Eric, any final thoughts?
None at all.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Bye.